Pete Gozalak is in the ball game on fourth down. He'll fly a field goal from the 25-yard line. It's got the upright. 9 plays, 75 yards. And the New York Giants build their lead to 13-6 over the Eagles, and we have 40 seconds to play in the first half. 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone. Anybody who's watched my videos at all, maybe subscribe to my channel, maybe gives my videos a thumbs up, or maybe left a comment, or anything at all you can do to help me, my channel out. I greatly appreciate it. I'm just trying to get my channel up and running, and anything you guys can do to help me out, I greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much. Thank you. Well, we'll continue with our little series here. Once again, from Fansided. I'll leave a link in the description box if you want to check the story out. They got the New York Giants, the top 10 defensive backs of all time. And now I'm just going to keep it under 20 minutes if I can. So I'm just going to get right to the point here. Number 10, okay, Landon Collins. All right, so this one might be popular to some, not so popular to others. But, you know, second round, I got him from Alabama. I mean, of course, in 2015, that was the infamous Eric Flowers. I mean, that was like the back-to-back we had there, right? Where the second rounder was like 700,000 times better. Good old Jerry Reese. Gotta love you, baby. Where the second round pick was 700,000 times better than the first round pick. And of course, it wasn't like a, first round pick was number 30, number 27. Nah, top 10 and in. Oh, yeah, both. So we got Eric Flowers, 2015, and we got Landon Collins in the second round. 2016, right? We took good old Eli Apple. Oh, my God. And then, of course, we got the Shep man, Sterling Shepard, in the second round. So, I mean, the second round picks, back-to-back years, were far superior to the first round. But anyway, second round pick, he did real well for it. I mean, you can't complain. 2015 to 2018, he only had 8 interceptions. He wasn't the greatest cover guy in the world. He had 3 fumble recoveries, but he was a tackler. He was a tackling machine. All right, he brought it. All right, he was really, really good. I mean, every year he was with us, he had over 100 combined tackles, except for his last year. But he had 96 combined tackles his last year, but he only played 12 games. If he played the whole season, he would have had well over 100. 2015, his rookie season, he had 112 combined tackles, right? 2016, he had 125 combined tackles. 2017, he had 104. As I said, 2018, he went down to 96. That's because he only played in 12 games. But, I mean, Giants didn't want to pay him, and you can't pay everybody. You can't pay everybody on your team $15 to $20 a year. The salary cap's not $3 billion. I mean, some guy, it's the way it is in the NFL. Guys want to get paid. I don't blame them. I'd want to get paid too. But, you can't keep everybody. You got to, So, we let him go. We got Jabrill Peppers, and I like Jabrill. I hope we keep him. Hopefully we can re-sign him. But anyway, Landon Collins certainly deserves to be on this list. He was only with us for 4 years, but they were very good, solid 4 years. Hopefully maybe Jabrill Peppers or Xavier McKinney might somewhat replace Landon at number 10 within the next couple of years. But as of right now on this list, what they got here, okay? Landon Collins, number 10. Number 9, okay, this one, okay. We have Otto Schnellbacher, okay. He only played with us for 2 years. They were phenomenal 2 years. It was 1950, 1951. Neither one of those years he played 2 great years he had. But we didn't go to a championship. Both years he was in a Pro Bowl, all right. But he also played pro football and pro basketball. He was a phenomenal athlete, all right. In the 2 years he was with us, we only played 24 games. We played 12 games a season. In the 24, he had 19 interceptions, 5 fumble recoveries, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, phenomenal seasons. Okay, unfortunately, it was only 2. I mean, yeah, they were great, but I mean, it's like, then why isn't Saquon Barkley in the top 10 running backs of all time for the Giants? He wasn't in there. He only played basically 2 years, phenomenal 2 years. Why isn't he in there? We got, so anyway, I said there's other guys I'd like to see on this list besides him who only played 2 seasons for us. I mean, Mark Collins, who got 2 Super Bowl victories with us. We drafted him in the 2nd round. In 1986, he played from 1986 to 1993. He had 17 interceptions. I said he won 2 Super Bowls with us. Corey Webster, right? He had 20 interceptions. He was, instrumental, especially in 2007. He had 20 interceptions. He played from 2005 to 2013. He was very good for us. He had some length to it. I mean, not just 2 seasons. And then the one I would rather see would be Willie Williams. All right, he played from 1965 to 1973. I don't know what happened. 1965 he was with the Giants. 1966 he went to the Oakland Raiders. In 1967 he came back to the Giants. So I don't know what happened there. But in his time with the Giants, okay, he had 35 interceptions. He led the league in 1968. All right, with 10 interceptions. I mean, him and Spider Lockhart in the back were very, very good. Very good. Unfortunately, part of the reason why I got so many interceptions is because we weren't very good. So the defense was on the field a lot. But anyway, I mean, I would much rather see Willie Williams on here. He number 41, I believe it was. Spider Lockhart was 43. He was 41. I mean, he did a very good job. I would much rather see him on here than Otto Schnellbacher. Okay. All right, then we got number 8, Jason Sehorn. He certainly deserves to be on here. And I want to just go just a couple very, very, very interesting points here, okay? I want to bring up. I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, but a very interesting point with Jason Sehorn and a very interesting point with the number 1 guy. All right. With Jason Sehorn here, right, we got him the 2nd round out of USC, played from 1994 to 2002. His first 2 years, 94, 95, he didn't play a lot on the field. 96, 97, he had some he started coming on. You can see he's a very, very good athlete. Very good athlete. 1998, bringing out the first, I think they said it was the first preseason game of the year against the Jets. He came out and he tore on a kickoff return. He tore his ACL and MCL. So he missed the whole 98 season, right? He was year 2000, he was very instrumental in us going to the Super Bowl. After 2002, the Giants didn't re-sign him. In 2003, he signed with the Rams. He missed the first 6 games of the season, I believe it was, but he played, I think, the final 10, I believe they said. That's the point I want to bring up with him, is that what it said on Wikipedia, when he played with the Rams, that was his last season, was in 2003. The last 10 games that Jason Sehorn, who is a white person, played cornerback, for what it said in Wikipedia, the last 10 games in 2003 with the Rams, those are the last 10 games. So that was the last game that a white player played cornerback. Started the starting cornerback. Just goes to show you, huh? What a phenomenal, phenomenal athlete he was. But it's been a long time since, just goes to show you how absolutely amazing athletes, African Americans are. Lock down the cornerback. You got to be a phenomenal athlete, and African Americans are that for sure. So Jason Sehorn, he was on number 8 on that list, and he certainly deserves to be. It's a shame he got hurt, because once he got hurt, he wasn't ever quite the same. He didn't quite have that speed that he used to have, but that's the nature of the beast. All right, number 7, we got Antrel Roll. All right, 2010 to 2014. He was in our Super Bowl victory, 2010 Super Bowl victory, 2011 Super Bowl victory. He was phenomenal for us. He never missed a game. The The 5 years he was with the Giants, he only had 14 interceptions, 5 fumble recoveries. He had 18 tackles for loss. All right, but I mean, he was so much more than that. He was like the general on the field. I mean, we were so lucky that we were able to sign him away from the Cardinals. So lucky, and he was, and what I'm reading online, he's certainly one of the best. Up for debate, but one of the best free agent signings that the Giants have ever had. Antro Roll, the 5 years that we had him, we were so lucky we had him. He's number 7 on the list. Then we had number 6, all right, Spider Lockhart, who I was just talking about with Willie Williams. Spider Lockhart was number 43. He was playing from the Giants from 65 to 75. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler, 66 to 68. He wound up his career with 41 interceptions. And after his death in 1986, the Giants honored him. The 1986 season, they had a spider patch on their uniform to honor him, and that was the first year the Giants won the Super Bowl. So he played on a bunch of horrible teams, and it certainly wasn't his fault. Same thing with Willie Williams, wasn't his fault. Just bad teams. So Spider Lockhart, without question, deserves to be on this list, and he's number 6. He was a safety. All right, number 5, Erich Barnes. He was only with the Giants for 4 years. He was from 61 to 1964. After 64, we traded him away to the Browns. Right around 64, Giants basically, their championship season was in 1963. 64, they just went down the tube. So basically, right around 64, like a lot of their good guys just started retiring, or we just started trading them off to try to start getting younger. And it showed because 65, we had a so-so season. But 1966, we were 112-1. We were absolutely horrible. So it is what it is. But anyway, Erich Barnes, 1961 and 1964, he was all pro. All 4 years he was with the Giants. He was in 3 championship games with the Giants, 61, 62, 63. The 4 years he was with the Giants, he had 18 interceptions. He had 3 of them we got returned for touchdowns. He had 7 fumble recoveries. One of his interception return was for 102 yards against the Cowboys in 1961. Also in 1962, the Giants lost the championship game at Yankee Stadium to the Green Bay Packers 16-7. The only touchdown the Giants scored was Erich Barnes blocked a punt from Max McGee. Ball rolled into the end zone, and the Giants recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. That was the only points the Giants scored all day. At the time, it made the score 10-7, so it gave the Giants a little bit of glimmer of hope. But then, 2 Jerry Kramer field goals later, 16-7. We're down by 2 scores, and the game's over pretty much. But Erich Barnes, without question, he only had 4 years with the Giants, but he certainly deserves to be on this list. All right, you start noticing these last 5 guys kind of got. Well, actually, pretty much the last 6 guys got some old flavoring to them. The last 3 are, or 4 of the last 5 got some real old flavor to them. But number 4, Mark Haynes, right, 1980, 1985, 6 years with the Giants, got him in the first round. Phenomenal cornerback for us. 3-time Pro Bowler, 82, 83, and 84. 2-time All-Pro in 82 and 84. He was the left cornerback. He had 13 interceptions, but it wasn't so much that. He was very good at covering. He was very good, and he deserved all the accolades he can get. He certainly deserves to be on this list. It started to get a little touchy with him. The guy wanted to be paid. Back in the early 80s, it was, kind of taboo to, start, holding out and all that. But, I want to say taboo, but not that many guys did it as they do today, okay? So I think he's like in 1985, he wanted to start making some money, He was 82, 83, 84, he's in the Pro Bowl doing real good and all that and everything. He wanted to start making some money, and apparently George Young, the GM, wasn't willing to pay him. So 1985, I believe he started holding out. He held out like almost half the season or something like that. He didn't, he played a little bit with the Giants, in 1985. But basically after 85, the Giants traded him. They traded him to the Denver Broncos. So in 1986, he went to the Denver Broncos. But the Giants got 2 second-rounders and a 6th-rounder for him. All right. The second rounder they got was in the 86 draft. Okay, from Mark Haynes, they wound up drafting Pepper Johnson, one of the greatest linebackers we ever had. So it wound up really working out pretty well for the Giants. We traded away an older cornerback and got a rookie linebacker who was very, very good for us. Unfortunately for Mark Haynes, all right, he was with the he got traded away to the Broncos in '86. He left the Giants, went to the Broncos. So what happened in '86? The Giants and the Broncos played each other in the Super Bowl, and we kicked the Broncos' ass. Mark Haynes went to 3 Super Bowls with the Broncos, and he got his ass kicked every time. '86, the Giants did it. '87, the Redskins did it. And '89, the 49ers did it. I mean, they got demolished all 3 Super Bowls. But he got paid, so, you know, he was happy as well. But just goes to show you, I mean, the Giants in 1986, when they drafted Pepper Johnson, they had 4 second-round picks, right? They had a first-rounder, they had 4 second-rounders, and they had a third-rounder, all right? The year before, 1985, they lost in the playoffs, 21-0 to the Bears. Sean Landeta kicked the ball kind of off the side of his foot, barely touched it. It bounced. One of the Bears picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown, okay, because he was kicking the ball kind of out of his end zone. So basically, the Giants' defense gave up to the eventual Super Bowl champions. We were on the road in Chicago. We gave up 14 points to the Bears. The offense didn't score a point all game. So that was in 1985. So in '86, when the draft rolls around, what do you think we should draft? Do you think we need defense, or do we think we need offense? Well, Bill Parcells, the first 6 picks were all defense. First round, he took Eric Dorsey, right, and then the second round, he took Eric Howard, Pepper Johnson, Mark Collins, Greg Lasker, who was a defensive back from Arkansas. He played like 3 meaningless seasons with us, and he was gone. All right. Then we had Eric Dorsey in the first round. All right. Then we took John Washington in the third round. So we took 6 defensive players. We can't score a point in the playoffs, so let's get more defensive players. Go figure, huh? We didn't take a offensive player, all right, until the 5th round. We didn't have a 4th round pick. So in the 5th round, we took Vince Warren, a wide receiver from San Diego State. He played in 4 games in 1986 with the Giants. He never played ever again. We need help on offense, and he's doing nothing but draft. I mean, it's hard to, I guess you can't complain because in '86 we wound up winning the Super Bowl, but you can't score a point in the playoffs. Why wouldn't you draft offensive players? So anyway, I guess that's why Bill Parcells is a Hall of Fame coach, and I'm sitting here making YouTube videos, huh? Anyway, all right, so we got Mark Haynes, number 4 on this list. Very, very, very good player. Number 3, Dick Lynch, okay? He played from 1956 to 1966, all right? He finished his career with 35 interceptions. He ran 4 of them back for touchdowns. He had 10 fumble recoveries, right? In 1961 and 1963, he led the league in interceptions with 9, all right? He played in 4 championship games, all right? And he, unfortunately for him, sadly, his son, Richard, passed away at the age of 31 on 9/11. He was one of the ones in the towers, and he passed away at the age of 31. So sad, so sad. But Dick Lynch was also the color commentator on the radio for the Giants for 40 years, from 67 to 08. Basically, it was the Super Bowl after the 07 season, so he made it to 08. But 40 years he was on radio for the Giants. Now, the last game he ever broadcasted was the Giants Super Bowl victory over the Patriots after the 2007 season. Very, 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 very special. And Dick Lynch, in college, Dick Lynch came from Notre Dame. Oklahoma had a 47-game winning streak. All right. Notre Dame beat Oklahoma 7-0 to snap Oklahoma's 47-game winning streak. Dick Lynch is the one who scored the only touchdown of the whole game to get the Notre Dame their 7-0 victory. So just a little tidbit there for you. So that's Dick Lynch. He certainly deserves to be honest. He's number 3. Number 2 is Jimmy Patton. He played from 1955 to 1966. All right, his whole time with the Giants, he only missed 3 games. All right, he was an All-Pro. He was in 6 championship games. 1956, 58, 59, 61, 62, 63. Unfortunately, we only won one of them. But he was in 5 Pro Bowls. He was an All-Pro 5 times. He led the league in interceptions in 1958 with 11. He had 52 career interceptions, and he had 15 fumble recoveries during his career. So he certainly deserves to be on this list. He's absolutely phenomenal. Then number 1, and some people call him, I guess maybe other than Lawrence Taylor, some people call Emlen Tunnell the greatest athlete the Giants have ever had, other than maybe Lawrence Taylor. Right? This guy could do everything. He was great at returning punts. He was phenomenal at, at intercepting passes and all. And he was this is like Jason Sehorn was the last white person to start cornerback in the NFL. It was in 2003. Well, Emlen Tunnell was the first black person the New York Football Giants ever had. He was with the Giants from 1948 to 1958. Then after 58, he left. He played 3 seasons with the Packers with Vince Lombardi. Emlen Tunnell's in the Hall of Fame. All right, he's a 9-time Pro Bowler. All right, he was on our, he was a 6-time All-Pro. He was on our 1956 championship team. He finished his career. All right, now he had 3 seasons with Green Bay, and the rest of them with the Giants. He finished his career with 79 interceptions. All right, with the Giants, he had 74 interceptions. He had 5 with the Packers. So with the Giants, he had 74 interceptions, but for his career, he had 79. Only Paul Krause had 81. Is number 1 all time. But with the Giants, he also returned 4 of those interceptions back for touchdowns. Now, just to go to show you, Emlen Tunnell only played 167 games. He had 79 interceptions. Paul Krause, the all-time leader, played 226 games, and he had 81 interceptions. Right, he played 59 more games, and he has 2 more interceptions. If Emlen Tunnell played that many games, he would be the all-time interception leader, without question. And Emlen Tunnell certainly, without question, deserves to be number 1 on this list. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there, and go Giants! Woo!